The key skills that you need to be ready as a game artist is to make sure that you have a solid foundation in art. Game art is just another avenue. I think that whenever we go into colleges and we go to school, we start thinking about, okay, well, I'm going to work in 3D and I need to know where the tools are. But if you don't know how to properly use those tools, you're not going to have much of an effect. And I think that coming up with creative ways of using those tools is going to be really key as well, because at the end of the day, it's the result that counts.
I think the traits of a good game artist, you've got to be really, really adept at working with other people. Being a part of a team is really super, super important. Unless you're freelancing from your home or something like that, then being a part of a team is part of it. You need to also be open to feedback. I think that a lot of artists really struggle with criticism when it comes to something they poured their heart into, and you kind of have to move past that and understand that if you get criticism on a piece or you get some feedback on a piece that isn't really positive, you need to look at that as a way to improve and look at it as sort of basically another artist sharpening you and making your work better. So being open to different ideas, open to feedback, and open to personal growth. I think growth in general is something that a successful artist in the game industry is going to be hungry for. They're going to be hungry to grow, to be better than they were the day before. I think they're also going to be hungry to learn.
So a few of the traits that I noticed when looking at a reel that really excels is, well, for one, that animator has no fear. They don't fear getting up and acting out their work to help it stand out and make it the best possible. Nor do they fear going in and finding the reference they need to, again, help their work be the best it can possibly be. And that's the exciting part, when you can get up out of your seat and you can look for what you might need to have whatever creature or character you're animating have that certain vibe or personality to them that is compelling. And I think that's what really helps your work stand out. Not only that, but of course the other qualities of a great animator is that they understand weight and balance, not only personality, of course, but essentially the principles of animation that are the building blocks to creating something that is truly phenomenal. And I think that those are the traits that these animators have that allow them to get the jobs they want.
What I think is really important when it comes to your reel is putting only your best stuff on there. And even if that's just a few pieces, maybe you have 10 pieces that are kind of so-so and you have 3 or 4 that are really, really good. Spend some more time on those and make them awesome, and then put your best piece first. I think that's better than having, several that kind of dilute the whole reel. You want to focus more on your best pieces, put your best foot forward, really.
Well, being an animator, that's what I'm going to focus on when I'm looking at any portfolio that has any animation in it. If they're going for animation, of course, I'm going to really scrutinize their work. I'm looking for weight. I'm looking for performance. Have you added an interesting personality, or is it cliche? You want to stay away from things that are done all the time, because that's not what's going to help you stand out. I'm looking for your personality in your work, because that's how you'll create something that's truly entertaining.
To make yourself stand out to a game studio, that can be as simple as showing that you're a master of something. So in your portfolio, if you want to go for a job as an environment artist, you probably should have some environment art in your portfolio. You may have lots and lots of great creatures in your portfolio, but if you don't have anything for environment art, if that's what you're going for, it's probably not going to come off that well. I think another thing that makes you stand out to the game industry itself is showing that you have a sense of community. So being involved on forums and things like that, having that sense of giving back to the community, I think is really helpful too. And that kind of just gets you out there and your name out there. People know who you are. And then when they see your artwork, they're like, oh, that's so-and-so on this forum. I really want to know, I want to learn more from that guy, or and that ultimately gets you noticed by other game studios. I've seen lots of game artists get jobs because of having that sense of community.
When I was first starting out, I asked some senior artists, about some, what are some tips for people that want to be successful in the industry? And it was very deep what they told me. They basically said, don't be a jerk. And they didn't say jerk, but I'll clean it up a little bit. But the basic idea is that no matter how good of an artist you are, when you're working with a team, nobody wants to work with a jerk. And so really, there are hundreds of people that could do your job that wouldn't make life miserable for everybody else. So when you're working with a team, you've got to think about other people, be selfless, help them out. The assets that you create are going to be moving down the pipeline. Try to make their lives as easy as possible, and you'll get that back. People will do the same for you. That's just common sense, and it's something that's applicable to any job, really. But I think it's really important in film and games, because you're working with a team to try to create this single thing. And so I think it's really important to just be a good citizen and think about other people.